Hey everyone, it's lovely seeing every single one of you happening alive here. From behalf of everyone, I welcome again for your presence to the thriving teachers from AEI, American Education International. Before I carry along, I wanted to let you know about our CEO, Dr. Lisa Helton. Now, here she is. Meet about Dr. Lisa Helton. She's a seasoned communicator, consultant, coach, and cultural true leader with a passion for personal growth and faith. With an extensive background in education, Lisa has authored numerous books and publications on the topic and is a well-known figure in education circles as the thriving teachers. Now, with over 25 years of experience as a teacher, principal, superintendent, and founder and developer, Lisa has dedicated her life to empowering educators and leaders worldwide. Her mission is to transform education and organization through her expertise as a change agent. As the CEO of American Education International, Lisa has continued to provide education services worldwide, including English language learning for all ages and American K-12 education. Her contribution has impacted over 150,000 classrooms, educators, and leaders worldwide. Beyond her professional achievement, Lisa is known by those closest to her as a lover of light and a speaker of life. Her caring nature and her expertise in the field of personal growth has earned her the title of Doctor of Heart and Mind. So here I give it to Lisa Helton herself. Dr. Lisa.
Thank you. So I say good morning to some people because of the different time zones that we're in. Good afternoon to others and good evening to others. So for those of you who are in Baku joining us, this is good evening to you. My name is Dr. Lisa Helton, and I want to thank Tabassum Khan for introducing me right now. She is also one of our team members for AEI. So thank you for jumping in and joining and take this lovely introduction. So I'm excited to be with you here today. We're going to spend about a half hour or so, 30 minutes or so, a moment in time that we're going to share together. And so I hope that you will be blessed by this. What makes this time so special to me is that I'm here to talk about how each and every one of you can thrive as teachers and in life. You don't have to look far to see the struggles in education and the lives of people throughout the globe. And so, as you know, I'm going to begin sharing the presentation so you have some good visuals. In America, many teachers are actually leaving the profession. And there's a shortage in a lot of different places. And Florida is one of those places, especially certain counties. You know, people are not thriving in education as they should be, and there's lots of reasons for that. It's not only in education, though. After all, you know, what we have all been through in the last few years, many are just focused on survival. But at this time, it's time to reset our thinking. And we're going to go in for a deeper download. I'm going to share a couple of insights in about 30 minutes that we have together. And I hope that it's going to help you today. In fact, I know that it will. So our topic is the thriving teacher. So if you would take a moment to grab a notebook and pen, because you're going to want to write down our key points. I'm also attaching a note sheet with lines that you'll be able to use to fill in the blank. So overall, taking notes is a valuable tool for anyone looking to improve their ability to learn and retain information. So whether you're a student, a professional, or just someone looking to expand their knowledge, when we speak about thriving as teachers, we also are speaking about thriving as people and in our lives. So What I share today is going to help us with growth, relationships, business, and every area within your circle of influence. So really, we're just talking about changing the world by changing your own world. So in these very challenging and conflicting times, we all certainly could use some thriving people ready to change the world. Wouldn't you guys agree? And now to some of you, thinking about thriving may give you a mental picture of a yoga mat, maybe playing soothing music. For others of you, the mental picture is maybe of a large bank account with all the material goods you can dream of, so you can literally quit your job. Maybe that comes to mind. But thriving means different things to different people, and you're going to see what it means when we think about the thriving teacher today. I'm going to give you some great insights on how you can be the thriving teacher. It's based on proven research from American Education International, AEI, and my book course called The Thriving Teacher, How Anyone, Anywhere Can Thrive in Education and in Life. All of this is fully accessible in our Teacher Development Center with AEI that we're going to give you an invitation to be a part of as we conclude today. My purpose here is to make a difference in your lives so that you can make a difference in the lives of your colleagues, students, and their families and beyond. I want to raise your awareness of how you can thrive as a teacher, and in doing so, change your world so you can turn the state of your world around, and therefore it moves to a better state and it inspires others to do the same within your circle of influence. So I want to convince you, if you're not already sure, that you do have within you a tremendous capacity to make a difference in this world, and we all want that we all share, and to make it a better place. You don't need to wait for others to do that. You can actually start doing that today. Only one thing stands between you and the greater success in your personal and professional life. And it's not the knowledge or skills, experience, or talent. It's your unique collection of gifts. Your gifts are what people of the world need to reach their fullest potential. When you serve others as a leader, as a teacher, you help them grow and grow yourself. So today we're going to learn about how to do that more often and more influentially. This is what it is to thrive. There's an abundance of issues in classrooms and school systems of the world that need your attention. Wouldn't you want better schools, better opportunities, a more accessible and effective growth support system? How about better community where teachers would actually get along and support one another online and face-to-face? Wouldn't you like better work environments? And wouldn't it be nice if people were simply respectful, unified, and positive? I want to share something with you. There's a story that illustrates so much of what goes on in education today. And it also reflects in many other industries that is really talking about the condition of our world. And it's really quite concerning. It's a fictional show that I saw many years ago. Maybe many of you saw this show. It's a scene so powerful that its implications stuck with me, and it really has had lasting impact. There's a group of people, the story was called Lost, and it's a group of people that are stranded on an island, and they're survivors of a plane crash, are forced to work together on this remote island. It's in the South Pacific, in order to survive this seemingly deserted tropical island. And so the story in this specific episode is called Expose, if you ever want to go back and watch it. And it's in the 3rd season of Lost. But I'm going to give you a brief retelling to prove a point here, to illustrate a point. The two characters, Nikki and Paulo, 2 of the original 48 survivors of the plane crash, discover a hidden stash of diamonds
on the island. And their greed leads them to double cross and murder another survivor named Howard. However, their plans are foiled when they are bitten by a highly venomous spider and they collapse. Now, Sawyer's one of the main characters, and he's always been distrustful of these two characters, Nikki and Paulo. And he finds them unconscious on the beach and quickly realizes the gravity of their situation. So he tells the other character, another character, Hurley, there were 48 in total, to go get the doctor, Jack, but he knows that they might not make it in time. So he decides to take matters into his own hands and he digs a grave for the two of them, believing that they're already dead. So as he digs, Nikki and Paulo slowly regain consciousness. He thought they were dead, but they're not. But they're still paralyzed. So they cannot move, they cannot speak. But the scene simply shows them opening their eyes. And the characters are standing around doing nothing but focusing on the burying. They don't even realize what's happening. They don't realize they're burying two people alive. And so this scene ends with Sawyer and Hugo standing over a freshly dug grave, looking down at the spot where Nikki and Paulo now lay buried. Take a look.
You okay? Hey! Hey, what happened?
Paralyzed.
So overall, this scene is a brutal reminder. If I can get this other video off, just give me 1 minute. This scene is a brutal reminder of what we see a lot and the harsh reality of what we see in a lot of different environments, especially in education. This is what happens when we neglect to observe or seek counsel. Sometimes we misjudge or rush to judgment. Often we bury people, and what the reality is that they're living and breathing, but maybe they're just simply paralyzed, metaphorically, obviously. And in time, with the process of healing, they will come back and to be living, productive people of impact, alive and ready to thrive. So my first point is that being a part of a wise circle makes you thrive. And as a sub point, and I think you'll get my meaning after seeing that video, avoid people with shovels, okay? Because in this very moment, you're very much alive and you can thrive, but it takes a lot of inner work to get us closer and closer to the place of thriving. We can expect to discover purpose and passion that it makes us thrive. And maybe this is why I was born. You ever wonder about why you were born? Generally, when we think about who we are, we begin by naming off the titles or the roles that we possess. You may say, I'm a wife, a mother, a daughter, an entrepreneur, a leader, a teacher, an author, but actually that's not who we are. These things describe what we do. In your notes, kind of jot down your roles for a minute, whatever it may be for each of us. But it can exceptionally be hard to know the difference. Answering the question of who you are is what is impossible without understanding your essence. Ask yourself, what is my consistent offering to my job, to my students, my colleagues, my family, my friends, and community? For me, this is a little bit about my background. I'm a servant, teacher, listener, team builder, speaker of life, as you know, lover of light, developer of the mind, healer of the heart, facilitator of environments, listener, believer. Those qualities make up who I am. But they also show up in each of our roles. And the combination of those qualities gives me distinction, regardless of the environment or the role I'm serving. Now, while I don't want to make a mistake of making who we are become synonymous with what we do, we can't ignore it altogether. What you do and how you do it should stem from who you are. My servanthood, teaching, listening, team building, speaking, love, mind developing, heart healing, facilitating of environments all shows up in how I function in my family, in my business, as a leader, a teacher, an author. And many of you today aspire to see your life revolutionized from the inside out. And some goals you want to accomplish are going to be directly related to what you do or what you'd like to do one day, but you aren't exactly sure how to get there. If you feel any sense of that, it's a sign that your purpose is expanding. You know this, you feel this deep down, but you don't have a roadmap detailing how to accomplish this. Is that how you feel? In one hand, you know exactly what you're supposed to do, but you also have no clue how you're supposed to do it. Your how is buried in your now. Maybe that's not your story. And you feel like knowing what you're supposed to do, but not knowing how to do it would be a welcome burden. I've got some thoughts that I believe are going to help you too, if that's you. So point 2, set your life up to thrive. And you do not need to know every detail of your purpose in order to thrive. You know, this is the part of the reason I want to stress how significant it is for you to come to a place to trust who you are. Your inability to trust who you are will show up in what you do. We falsely believe that we'll become confident in who we are when we arrive. But we fail to realize that confidence is what leads us there in the first place. This is one of the greatest problems with institutions today. The micromanagement and stripping away of the individual gifts and talents of the people within. You know, teaching is both a science and an art. There are some skills we all need to possess, but how much of we succeed with students relies on the art of teaching. The art of teaching are the giftings within you. It's what makes you unique. And if we do not have a growth plan, or we are not part of a growth-oriented culture, our talents and our giftings will begin to dwindle. We can begin to adopt the beliefs or the thoughts of others when we really think they could not be further from the truth. If you don't think you're eloquent enough or intelligent, savvy, or competent enough for the journey that's ahead of you, it will show up in how you perform. And when your performance does not stand out, it leaves very little room, if any, for promotion, for connection, and networking. It's a vicious cycle because from there, you will not choose to take on new challenges. You won't push yourself beyond what is necessary. And you may even begin to sabotage opportunities because you don't trust yourself to live up to the standards you have in mind. Trust yourself to live up to the standard and to exceed it. If your mind is anything like mine, you're wondering how you balance the real feelings of uncertainty in your role, especially if you're in a new field while maintaining who you are. I'm suggesting you don't get nervous or that you walk in any room with false arrogance. But what I am saying is that when you walk into the space, you have to make a decision within yourself that no matter what happens, you will not allow the outcome to take away from who you are and all the work you've been doing, all the hard work you've been doing. That's exactly what I tell myself when I'm speaking or when I'm leading a seminar. It's also what I used to say in the early years when I was teaching my classroom and I was nervous. I get super nervous when I'm talking to large crowds still. I want to perform well. I want to meet the expectations of everyone. But when I live in that nervous space, I start talking fast. I start losing train of thought. And I end up literally doing the opposite of what I wanted to do. So when I take a few deep breaths and remind myself that when I'm authentically who I'm supposed to be, so much of that I cannot fail, it eases the tension. And I still might have nerves, but I'm reminded I'm reminded that my nerves are who I am. So when you come to the place where you're confident that your mistakes don't define you, that a person cannot outshine you, and that failure is a blessing in disguise, you bring a level of confidence and fearlessness that sets you apart no matter what room you're in. That doesn't mean that you should walk into spaces unprepared and winging it. On the contrary, you have to be even more intentional about doing your homework by understanding your audience or your students in your classroom and what matters to them. You want to know everything you know to do when you walk into the room. Isn't that what scares us from breaking out of our comfort zone in the first place? We don't want to be confronted with that pop quiz that proves we're not as equipped and knowledgeable as we thought we were. And you can't avoid failing in life, but you can do everything in your power to prepare. When faced with failure, you get to choose whether it becomes a lesson or a deterrent to keep you from trying again. I don't know about you, but I've made up my mind that failure is going to have to work very hard if it's stepping into the ring with my faith. So you're getting ready to roll up your sleeves and allow the work that's been taking place on the inside to start showing up on the outside. And you're ready to start doing the work to build out the full vision of your life. The kind of vision that it takes to thrive. Many people I've met have a passion to start a business, serve their community, climb the corporate ladder, write a book, but they don't feel like they have the tools to make that happen. So today I want to invite you to join a community of educators operating internationally with American Education International, AEI. AEI serves by providing American K-12 education internationally, providing a dual high school diploma. We also are the gateway to the USA for higher education and career growth. And we have advanced English acquisition certifications. We invite you to connect with our network where we can give you tools and provide you with important insights to help you keep your ambition off pause. Begin to overcome obstacles, begin to thrive as a teacher and beyond. I'm going to give you a form in the link here, and I'm going to ask you to complete this form And when you do, I want to challenge you to take the step in your development as a thriving teacher. Take notice of your thinking. What are the reasons you want to thrive? Where does your hope lie? And are you focusing on the positive and what things could be, or are you stuck with the negative thoughts about the way things are? Think about and plan for how your life can change by being a part of an international community. So let's recap for a minute. In the time we spent together today, we've briefly touched on two ideas on how you can thrive and therefore impact and influence your students and the world of others. Imagine going into a deeper dive on other ways. How much more of the difference could you make? Or perhaps you have a great need to further develop your skills, leadership skills, teaching skills, or grow as a person. What I would like to do is for you to simply fill out the survey that I'm going to attach. And in a second, I'm going to show you what this survey looks like. I'm going to stop sharing for a minute, and I'm going to share the form with you so that you can complete it. And when you see this form, you're going to notice that there are 4 simple questions on this form. And this is, as I share it, I'm going to put the link in here first. In the chat. There you go. Go ahead and open yours up. And in the meantime, I'm going to share my screen so you can see the form. You all able to see that? Okay. And this is called the ATDC call to action. So I'm going to ask you to rate the importance of studying this content for you or your organization. Not important, somewhat important, moderately important, or highly important. Then I'm going to say, what is the highlight of this presentation? So what did you get out of it? What most impacted you? Was there anything specially said? And that's what's valuable about the note taking. And the third one is select which areas would be helpful to you. We have for you all specifically your teacher development workshops, English acquisition advancement, dual diploma for American K-12 for your students or your children, your own children, your post-12 options for students who want to study higher education in the USA, or perhaps you are interested in being a certified teacher with American Education International. And then lastly, I am interested in enrolling in the Thriving Teacher Certification Program with AEI that's going to be this summer. Yes, no, or maybe. So simply select your answers, submit them right away. And as you submit them, I'm going to email you directly with a special gift. And when you get your VIP offering, in just 1 minute, give you a minute to fill that out. You're going to get a VIP invitation to a summer session special for ATDC educators to enroll in the Thriving Teacher Certification Program. And we're going to invite you to a community of educators where you will receive English acquisition courses, conversation hours, workshops, and an opportunity to be certified with AEI. And in review, just to recap our points, just remember in closing, a wise circle makes you thrive. Avoid people with shovels as the sub point, and then set your life up to thrive. Thank you today for joining us. I hope this session has added value today.